With Matt Walker of the game against Lancashire. Looking across the 4 days, could you sum that up for us? Obviously, it's not the result you wanted, but what about the performance as well?
It's pretty simple. I think we were outskilled really from start to finish. I think it's as simple as that. It's a game of skill at the end of the day, and they performed much better than us over the 4 days. And they showed what it takes to bat on what I thought was an excellent cricket wicket. It showed that if you applied yourself with the bat, were able to trust your defence and build a partnership. You're able to score runs as Bohannon and Wells did pretty comfortably there when they both got in, but they put the hard work in to get themselves in that position. And with the quality they have in the ball, they gave us a lesson how to go about it. There's definitely enough in the pitch. If you bowled well, you're going to get your success. And it's pretty simply broke down. I think with the bat, 240 in the first innings was well under par. We knew it. Too many soft dismissals, 2 mistakes, unfortunately. And with the ball, in parts, we were good as usual, but not consistently good enough. Credit to them, they played well, but we just didn't threaten enough in our areas and unable to create pressure, to create mistakes from them. They got a significant partnership, and made it very difficult. We came back well on the third morning, actually bowled really nicely and restricted them, and I think 90 for 2 in that session, and reduced them in the end to what they got. But the damage had been done. 200 odd run deficit was always going to be a struggle, and they showed again with the ball second innings how good they are, and they just delivered their skill over and over again. We weren't able to combat that with our skill. It's as simple as that. Better team over 4 days, and we paid the price.
Realistically, looking at the 11 you've played here, that wouldn't be the ideal 11 for you to play at this point. I think that's fair to say. How much are the absences of senior players particularly hurting you at the moment?
Yes, it's hurt us all season, and I hate speaking about injuries. Always feels like an excuse, but for us, it's massive miss. Miss Wes. Wes Agar has been great for us. Joe Denny, Jack Leaning. Zach this week. Grant injured. It's the list goes on, and we are where we are. We have young players playing who are enormously experienced, and their skill levels at the moment, that's not unfair to say, are not as good as what we're playing against. It creates opportunity for them, and that's the upside. And no one likes losing. Hate feeling like we're feeling at the moment. But as long as they're learning, I hope they are learning, and I hope they're seeing what it takes. And that's the conversation constantly in the dressing room of what it takes to win games of 4-day cricket. It takes a lot of skill and a lot of hard work, and for some of them, it's a little way off at the moment, and that's reflected in their performance. And it's not on them, you want to see them rise, hopefully, and step up, and able to get better and better each week. But unfortunately, the mistakes keep coming at this stage, and it's nature of the game. Unfortunately, you're playing against good sides in this division. Say it every time I seem to speak to you. They are. It's a hell of a competition with very good sides week in, week out, and we're not stocked at the moment with the side we want to put out in the park, but that can't be helped, and it just is what it is. And you've got to hopefully the young players can certainly see what it takes and see the opposition, how they go about it, and take the learnings of what Bohannon and Wells did and how their bowlers bowled. You're talking about those guys are experienced players and have been around for a long time, and they've been at this stage of their careers where a lot of our young players are. And unfortunately for us at the moment, there's 4 or 5 that you're having to play at the time, and that is difficult. There's definitely a disparity in the level of skill that goes out there from the start. But that's sport, and you have to pick a team to play of what you have at your resource, and of course you're going to miss your best players, and that's been a fairly common theme for the most part of the season.
Obviously, you want to turn things around. It's been a disappointing T20 Blast campaign at the moment, and sometimes teams get into a rut, don't they? Can you see the light at the end of the tunnel? Can you see how you can turn it around and communicate that to the players as well?
Yeah, and I said it just now. It can happen pretty quickly. Actually, it may take a session, with the bat of people scrapping it out and getting through a tough situation, or half a session of brilliance with the ball, or a moment here and there which can change the course of a game, which can change the course of a season. And you have to believe that. You have to believe it. It's not going to happen on its own. It's not going to just happen by accident. You've got to put the hard work in our training, and we've got to put the hard work in when we cross the white line. And absolutely, no one's not trying. Everyone's trying the hardest out there. It's a question of at the moment our skill levels, and coming up against good sides that probably at the start on paper are going to be favourites to win the game of cricket, and we've got to make sure that we are absolutely at the races every single time we turn up. So look, I think you have to believe, you have to trust that idea that it can change around, and I've seen it before. We've been in this position a few times now in the last couple of seasons. And there is a character in this dressing room that, when backs are right against the wall, can step up. So yeah, of course, you want to have your best players at your disposal, and that experience, and the know-how when you get into these situations, can find a way to help the rest do it. The moment there's sort of one or two players that are standing up and answering some real good questions, we need it from more players week in, week out. And there won't be the lack of will and fight, that is for sure, but we just got to be better with our skills. Got to be more consistent with our skills, and understand that winning games of four-day cricket from the first ball to the last ball takes an enormous amount of hard work and effort and concentration, all the facets of being successful sportsmen. Put it on the page over after over after over. That's what it takes. Sides will crumble against you if you do that, as we found ourselves when sides are relentless against you. It's something breaks in the end, and we've got to try and make sure we're doing that to opposition.
And Hampshire Sunday, another one of those good sides that you talk about in Division 1, and a real challenge as well. What would you make of going down to the Utility Bowl?
Well, you just said it. I mean, again, a very good attack, hugely experienced attack. Just to think, the amount of games that Abbas, Abbott, Barker have got collectively, Dawson now, and an enormously experienced attack that know what they're doing. But haven't had their best season for sure, and we've been down there in the past and won, and we've got to believe that we can go and do that again. But it's all comes back to everything I've just been saying, is making sure that we can get in that competition mode and get into the battle of ball after ball, bat and ball. And cricket's an individual game. It's a team sport for sure, but it's individual skill versus skill, ball after ball, and making sure you're prepared for that, understanding that you are in a battle with one other person at the other end over and over again, and trying to outskill them over and over again. And that's the simplicity of this sport, if you want. Keep winning those little outcomes, and can't get too sort of over analytical about stuff, but I think people understand that the moment we're just not matching up in those levels of skill, and we're going to be tested again. There's no question. It's Hampshire, a very good side, and the prospect of certainly those three seamers is a pretty daunting one. But we can turn it around, and they have to believe that. And that's the message from the dressing room to all the players in there: is that you can turn this around. You're good enough. We've been there before. We've done it before. All those players in the dressing room have had success at some stage, well, most of them, even if it's in a small part. But making sure that we are together, sticking together in this next little period, and trying to make sure that our performance is better.